What's up, friends? We are back with another unusual and original library from Soundiron. We have Rust Prime, which is a collection of all 5 volumes from the Rust series, touted as the ultimate metallic sound design instrument. It is a juicy 9 gigabytes, runs on the free Contact player, and has been used in abundance in the Saw series by Charlie Clouser. Let's check out how it sounds. So as you can hear, it is big, it is bold, it is clanky, it is metallic. You're going to want to get a tetanus shot when you're using this library. Now, percussion is something that Soundiron does very, very well. Rust Prime is no exception. Let's check out the interface. So as you can see, you get all 5 volumes, Rust 5, of course, being the newest. This is the Rust Prime NKI. If you have other libraries from Soundiron, you might recognize the layout of this interface. It is a 4-layered system, so you can add additional layers. When you click on those layers, it'll change the controls down below, as you can see, and they'll be color-coded so you know exactly what you're looking at. Ensembles, subsynth sustains, subsynth staccatos, an abundance of patches and sounds from each one. You can assign them to layer A or layer B. So I've assigned layer 1 to A, layer 2 to B. I'm going to use my fader to go between them. This is particularly useful if you maybe start with a smaller sound and then you kind of layer on levels of aggression. So you could add the more intense sounds on layer 2, for instance. We can also keep this so that it stacks, so that it's on both layers. And then we just start to bring this one in. You have a full FX panel. In these modular kind of panels, I've talked about this in the past, you really got to dial in and you got to sort of pull things back because the sounds are so big and they're going to eat up the frequency spectrum. You, of course, can add other racks, other effects, whatever you want to do. In the options tab, we have a whole bunch of other stuff. We have LFO, filter, and arpeggio. Again, this is for each layer. Now I like that one. I like it a little bit lower, so let's go down to this pitch wheel. We're going to assign it to a controller. Lots that you can do in this space for each layer. Then we have the space, which is kind of cool. So I can take my first layer, I can bring it all the way out here. So you can hear it on the right-hand side. And we're going to bring our layer 2 all the way on the left. You can also move them forward and back within the space for a bigger sound. You can see, you can bring it up front, you get like a really big sound. You can command click and bring them back into their original position. And then, of course, you have the individual NKIs for each volume of Rust, along with this custom effects. Don't forget about this custom effects folder because there's lots of cool stuff in there. Let's check out one of them. Darkness. try another one. Wah. Just get something in there. Absolutely perfect for running any kind of rhythm underneath. The Rust 5 would be all new stuff. Let's check out a couple of these. Explosive. You're probably going to want to turn your headphones down for this one. Absolute madness. Let's try another one. Operator. So if you just want to just check out just what one layer is doing, you can mute the other ones. There's one layer in there that you're not quite sure of. You can change it, you can manipulate it, you can adjust the volume, the attack, change it completely, move it out into layer B, whatever you want to do. So there really is just an abundance of content. You really got to go into those folders and mess around. Let's dig into the composition. I'll show you what I did. I bounced all these tracks down just for the purpose of this review. In the brown are all the Rust Prime sounds. Then I have one instance of Hyperion String Ensemble, just like a synth. I have one instance of Sonosphere's Limitless, which is kind of like a keyboard patch, and one instance of Temple Drums, just because I thought that it would layer really well with the Rust Prime series. Why don't I solo out all the Rust tracks and you can hear just how those ones sound on its own. So as you can hear, really sound designy stuff. We have a Hyperion Strings Ensemble synth part. It's a really kind of processed string sort of sound. Sonosphere's Limitless. Let's check this one out. Processed keyboard sound, and I think when you're using a library like this, like Rust Prime, I try to find complementary sounds. So it's going to work really well with synths or processed electric keyboards, all those kinds of things. And then we have one instance of Temple Drums. Just big, some more kind of thunderous accents. I'll play you some of my favorite sounds from each one. Let's check this one out. I love that because it's just literally one sound. It's one patch from the Rust 5 folder. Let's listen to a couple other ones. So nice to have the arpeggiator when you're messing around with percussion samples. This was another one of my favorite sounds. It's called Windmill Creek. So I have that on the off beats, just for something totally different. Their hang drum is really cool. Let's check this one out. Rumbiensis? I can barely say that. Really cool sounds. Soundiron does percussion and sound design very well. It's deeply sampled, so it can be very, very quiet, but also gets thunderous and loud. There's a gazillion different ways that you can manipulate the sounds. I think it is primarily a percussion library, but there's a lot of sound design stuff that you can do as well. For any kind of suspense writing, this is going to be really, really good to use. That's it for me today, my friends. Let's play the track, and I'll catch you in the next one.